What is your name and where are you from?
Christopher Kloiber. I'm from Anaheim, California.
All right, I have a lot of from California. How did you originally hear about my lessons?
I just went looking on YouTube, and I found your lessons, and I like the fact that you put like the whole first page out, or the first several bars out for free. And I look at it, and go, yeah, I can do this, and that had me hooked. I go, I can play piano.
I like that you're positive about that because most of the time I get, you chump, how you only give me the first part? Where's the rest of
No,
it?
well,
They
it's
get
your living.
mad at me.
It's what you do for a
Yeah,
living, but it's
I know they don't understand that. I know, and they say, I could go somewhere else and get this for free. There's other people that do, and then I'm like, well, sir, go ahead and do that. I'm
yeah.
not forcing you to, but people get mad at me about that a lot of times. What did you like most about learning from my method?
From your method, um, it
Uh huh.
worked for me. It got me playing piano. It like I said, if I took lessons, I took guitar lessons, and I couldn't keep on a weekly basis. I couldn't keep up with my assignments, and I quit taking guitar lessons because I was paying money and couldn't keep up. With yours, I can do it at my own pace. Um, I can do it anytime I want, and you have a
Yeah.
huge library, so I can pick an easy song when I get frustrated. And yeah,
Yeah. I love because you know how to practice and you're picking the right songs. I always say that, and people that are successful, that's the thing that keeps showing up. So, I love that. What makes my method different from other piano lesson methods, other
I
online
don't
teachers?
I don't know because I looked at a few of them like 7 years ago, and I just don't remember. But yours are the one that
Uh,
I had the success with, the instant success, and your like you said, your renditions are pretty close to the original, which I like.
I hear that all the time that people will they'll find mine and then they don't go anywhere else or they and but I have to say that there are good other good lessons out there, but a lot of the teachers today, what they're missing is they didn't actually they grew up during the internet, so they didn't actually teach real people for any length of time. They just went online and start teaching. And if you do that, you have no idea what the average person is going to need. I
Yeah,
taught 50 students a week for 20 years, and they taught me how to teach, and I learned what people need. So if it seems like, oh, how did he know I was going to need that? How did he know I was going to fingering? Because all these other guinea pigs I had, who I love, who I still in contact today with, that taught me how to teach. So everything you're getting in the lessons is based on those 20 years of teaching 50 students a week.
I can
Yeah,
relate to
so
that.
thanks to them.
I can relate to that because I
On a
train.
scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with my lessons?
Oh, 10, definitely 10.
Well, thank you for that. I love getting
Yeah.
tens. Would you recommend me to a family member or friend, and if so, why?
I have, and if they want to play piano, I go. It's just, it works. It was the easiest thing for me to do. Um, it just works. I teach a little.
Well, Chris,
I train dogs. I train dog teams.
oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh,
and
neat.
so yeah, I've been doing that for almost 30 years now, and there's there's people who can
Now,
do
hold on.
right.
You teach dog teams? Did you say dog
The
teams?
handler, and the dog. Uh, yeah, the, we train them to find
Oh, the
explosives.
handler and the dog. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so sometimes you're teaching the handler, you're teaching the dog, sometimes you're teaching both,
Okay.
and you have to, as a teacher, you have to kind of have that understanding of how to get through the person, or how to get through the dog, or how to get them both to work together. So
Yes.
that works for me. I recognize that right away, and I go, wow, you just hit everything that I need to get going with this.
Yeah, and you have that experience, Chris. Now imagine if you didn't ever teach a person, you never taught a handler or a dog anything, but you could do it. And then you went on camera and then you're going to teach everyone. Imagine what you're missing out because of all the experiences you've had with actual people. You know,
Right, right.
that's that's kind of the same thing. Yeah, I bet you're a great teacher. I can kind of tell that. You have a teacher spirit about you.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, so you must enjoy that for 30 years of doing it.
I do. Yeah, it's a lot of
Oh, and
fun.
what's your company? A lot of people are going to watch this. Somebody might want to come to you. Do you
I
want
work
to
for
give
the
a shout out to your
government. I work
company?
for the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and
So you don't need you don't need to do that then. All right. So you must be good at it then too. If they're going to hire you to do that, that's cool. That's neat. I love dogs. Love animals. Yeah, I had two chows that were brother and sister that I grew up with, and I got a dog training book and I trained them, and I had chows who could leap and catch frisbees, and that's the most hilarious thing you've ever seen. But I just wanted to do that, and everybody told me they're not the breed that can catch frisbees, and I taught them how to do it because I stuck with it. And then when they both died, it just destroyed me, and I've never let myself get close to another dog since. But
My last dog, yeah, yeah.
they don't live long enough.
No, they don't.
They don't. Yeah, and if anybody's listening, get them good food. Don't buy it at the grocery store. Go somewhere that's got some organic food, because that'll help them, give them some extra years. Found that out too late, but yeah. Chris, it's been a great pleasure talking with you. Anything I can do for you today, or any question you have, or if you want a sheet of something, I'll send you a sheet.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. No, I'm good. I'm just, I'm very happy. I'm playing piano. I've just always wanted to play piano. It's one of those things in life. I've always wanted a big piano in my living room, and I want to be able to play it, and that's where I'm at.
Do you have a big piano in your living room?
I told myself when I could, when I could do the Born to Run album, I was going to go out and buy a Steinway. All these.
Oh, wow.
And I've gotten to maybe like the first 20 bars on that and Backstreets.
Uh-huh.
Backstreets, I'm just gonna block. Right there in the beginning, it's out that I think you know what part I'm talking about. It's going fine. It's going fast. And just because that part right, da 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 da.
Yeah.
I can't get that yet.
Hang in there, bud.
I went out and I said, you know what? It's time to go out and buy the piano because I'm not getting any younger. So
That's great.
I just love it.
Yes, and if I'm always a teacher, I can't resist giving you some information. But I feel like you're right on the verge here. I really would love it if you'd get out somewhere and play a little bit, even if it's just a little coffee shop somewhere or a bar and play. And if you don't sing, that's fine. There are people that can sing with you, sing for you, or you can just play. But it's so fun and so rewarding. And I know where you are. We kind of think, I need to get better before I do it. I need to get better. I need to reach this level. But again, we never do. We never feel like we deserve it or we're ready. We just have to get out there and do it. But that would be the one thing I really would encourage you to do if you can, because I think it'd really make a difference for you. And for some reason, it makes us a lot better. Going out and playing for people, I don't know what it does. It just it does exponentially what just practicing by yourself would do with just one performance. I don't know why it works that way, but it seems to. Well, Chris, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I'm going to send you a Google review link right after this. So this is going to help me a lot. I'm going to put it on my testimonial page. And but the Google review might even help me more. But it's just a link you're going to click, and if you'll just write me a quick review, a couple of sentences of what we've been talking about here, that'll help me in the SEO, search engine optimization stuff for the website. I'd appreciate that. Well, thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you. All right, yeah. Contact me anytime if you ever need anything. Bye, Chris.
I will definitely. Bye bye.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for doing this for me. Yeah, I see all these names all the time in emails over the years, and I never get to put faces with names. And I hear all the time, you guys feel like you know me. And my answer to that is you do. My whole life is in my lessons. So if you see my kids or I talk about, that's I'm a pretty simple guy. But it's nice to meet you. How long have you been with me?
Maybe 7 years, I think.
Okay.
6, 7
all
years.
right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
7 years. I'm going to turn you up just a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, my son usually does all that. He's not in here. All right. 7 years. That's great. I was talking to a guy earlier that has been with me for the whole 18 years. So he started in 2007, so that was kind of neat to talk to him. But, yeah, loving that. 7 years. So what kind of got you onto my stuff?
Well, I lifelong ambition to play piano.
Okay.
I've been playing trumpet since 3rd grade. I play guitar but never studied. I have an inclination for it. But and I have a piano and I plink around on it. And I decided I wanted to, I went on YouTube and go, I'm going to really find out how to play this. And I found your site. And
What song was it?
It was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh man, so you started with
I set it. I set really high and possible.
you started with a tough one. That's what you started with? Is that what
That's
you're
what I
telling
started
me?
with. I think Against the Wind also. I think that was one of the
Okay.
first ones. That and Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah. But
Yeah,
I
I
hear
hear
the
that.
lick and I go, I want to play that, and so I just set my mind to it.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody is intimidating to a lot of people. It is long, but it is fun to play. I want to perform that one day. That one's so neat. How did you do
It's
on it? Did you feel like you did
I'm
pretty
doing
well on
good.
it?
That's kind of my go-to song because I
Oh, okay.
really it is, yeah, because I can cross over and I can improvise the fingering and all that. I mean that's what you've done for me. The site has is it's got me really comfortable with the piano and the keyboard.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
if I want to go back, I always want to be classically trained,
Uh-huh.
but I'm leaps ahead now because I can play the piano, and now I can go backwards and refine it and learn the scales and the arpeggios and pay somebody to teach me that.
Okay, so you don't mind doing some of the hard work in the scales and
No, I
arpeggios
love
and
the
all
hard
that?
work.
Oh, good. Those things are helpful. So I'm not, a lot of people say, well, you're leaving the classical tradition. You're not teaching the read music. You're not working on all this stuff. And my response to that is, well, reading music is a roadblock for a lot of people. It keeps them from playing at all. So I'm
It
rather
does.
they do something than nothing. And with the scales and arpeggios, you don't have to play those 6 hours a day. It isn't all. I mean, you can just do them a little bit, and they're tremendously helpful if you do them just a little bit.
That's why it's helped me a lot, is because I just don't have the time. Literally, I might do 5 minutes a day, and I'll just do like one or two measures, and then come back
Yeah.
like the next 2 or 3 days and perfect it. And just so, I put in like at the most maybe, maybe about an hour a week, if that, maybe a half hour a week,
Uh-huh.
and it just, it's taken me. It gets me where I want to be.
Yeah, and that works for you. And a lot of people will say, "Well, I can't play like you." And I tell people, "Well, is what I do your profession? You have a job that's your career. This is my career. That's why I get to spend every minute on it every day."
This is just
So of
fun
course
for
I'm
me.
gonna
Yeah.
have a level there. But I like that you're using it for what you need, and you realize that if you practice right, you don't have to have so much time.
Right.
If you do quality in that little time you do, it goes a lot farther than just setting a timer and doing, mindless repetitions.
Yes.
So yeah, let's see. So in 7 years, and I can't believe you started with Bohemian Rhapsody. That blows my mind. If I would have been there, I would have said, "Don't start with that one, Chris."
It's
But
frustrating.
sometimes the willpower and
Yeah,
what?
I just love it. It's a labor of love. It really
Yeah.
is.
And Freddie Mercury was really gifted. He had some classical in him. Really, I don't know what his background was playing, but he had a lot of classical in him. You can tell that in Bohemian Rhapsody, but very
Jazz
creative
and
in his
everything.
piano
They did
playing
it all.
and chord progressions. So what else did you like? I mean, where do you go from there? You started at the top. What else have you played?
Well, here was my ambition when I love the Bruce Springsteen "Born to Run" album. I love the piano
Yeah,
in that whole.
me too.
So I told myself one day, that's my goal, is to be able to play the songs on that album, especially Jungle Land and Backstreets. And lo
Yes.
and behold, you have them on your site, and I'm on my way. I can.
Yeah.
It's slow, it's very difficult, and it's slow, but
Sure.
it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
And you, like I said, like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and I see the progress. So it's
Oh yeah,
basically
and that,
a
it
dream
sounds like you
becoming
do it
reality.
frequently.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I got a story to tell you that you might like. So Bruce Springsteen has always been, and it's not Bruce, it's Roy Bittan, his piano player, who does all this marvelous
yeah.
stuff. He's the one that deserves all this credit. He's an amazing piano player, still playing for him to this day, and I've had people request for him. The whole library I have is based on hired requests. I don't know if you knew that, but
Yes.
it's 18 years of hired requests. So I don't choose anything. All the members are choosing what they want to do, and you guys tend to like the same things. And Roy Bittan, Bruce Springsteen stuff is one of the hot items to do. I still get them. In fact, I did one just lately. I don't know if you saw it, Racing in the Streets. It's a 10-minute Roy Bittan parade. He just plays, it's a 10-minute thing, and it took me forever to transcribe it and teach it, but that's on there now if you want to check that out. But that one is from a guy in London who he grew up with his mother had cancer, and he really had some really hard times there. Saw things a kid should never see their mother go through, and she eventually died when he was a kid. But one of the happy memories he has was her taking him to a live concert in London, and he was there when Roy played that 10-minute Racing in the Streets deal. So that's what he hired me to do, and that's his life ambition, is to learn to play that thing because it takes him to a happy place. And also, Niels Lofgren, you heard of him?
No.
He is
Right,
the
no.
guitar player for Bruce, like for a long time.
Oh, okay.
You can look him up, and he's always playing back to back with Bruce on the guitar in his in the band when they play. But he contacted me. He did. And he
Oh.
wanted my arrangement for Jungle Land because I was the closest of anybody he could ever find. And he's out there playing with Roy night after night on the stage. So I'm like, man, he's going to do a podcast thing with me. But I thought that's the height. That's as good as I can get as far as a recommendation from someone who plays with Roy every night, and he wants my lessons. And I'm thinking, I'm going to ask him, why don't you ask Roy to teach you?
Absolutely.
I don't know why he does it. It's funny. So anyway, you're at the top, and the Against the Wind solo, that's a tough one too. Do you play for any bands, or do you play out somewhere at bars or anything?
No, that's my ambition. Is I would like to be the guy in the restaurant one day playing the piano. Or 20 years ago, a buddy and I, we were at work, and we said, when we retire, let's go work at Disneyland. And then I go, I want to be the guy playing piano on Main Street. And so it's I'm not there, but but I'm it's an ambition. It's something that I just work towards. And those
I
jobs
recommend
are
it,
impossible to get,
Chris, and I recommend, because we kind of wait till I'm going to get good before I do it, but we never really get to where we approve of ourselves. We're always on that journey. So I would say sooner rather than later. Pick a few easy songs that you can do. Go out and play. Do you sing while you play?
No.
Okay.
No, I
That's
don't.
all right.
It takes a lot of practice. I can't sing well to begin with, but it's just like when I'm alone in the house, I do sing, but I fall apart like in front of people. Trumpet I can play all day because I've done it since I was a kid. It's natural. It's 3 valves, but like on piano, I still have to get used to the stage fright on that.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
singing
I'm a
part,
trumpet player too. I started in 7th grade, but I played through high school, and I played trumpet. I still get it out once in a while. Man, those chops don't stay with you unless you keep it going every day.
A lot of maintenance.
I could still. Yeah, I can't. I'll try to get out and pop a high C once in a while, but it's nobody wants to listen to me practice. But
No. I hear that.
Wow. So when you you could already read music. You were already a musical guy when you started, so that helped a lot, I think. When you started with my lessons, when you see the tablature that I have, the way that I write out the music, was that something that clicked for you immediately? Did you have to get used to it? How was that experience for you?
That's where it clicked for me immediately. I liked it, and then I felt, well, this isn't, like I said, I can read the music, but I move like lightning speed compared to if I sit down and and try and read music, the bass and treble, and work it out. I'd be doing like a measure, a measure a night maybe instead of like 5-6 measures a night, on your site.
Yeah.
So it just
Right.
it got me playing piano, which is what I really have, and I can play. I'm good enough for me, and then I can always go backwards and take private lessons and then have somebody refine me. Like, hey, we can clean this up. You can lighten up a bit here and there. So it's been great.
Sure. Yeah, and I think I forgot what I was going to say. No, that's not it. I can't remember. It was good, but I can't remember it now. Yeah, so when you go onto the site and you're looking for a song to play, what is your impression of the library when you look through it? Do you have a particular song in mind that you're looking for? Or do you just look through it, see what you might like, and what is your impression of what's on there already?
I have about, like in my queue, I have about 20 songs. I just, I know the songs I like. I know the piano riffs in them, and I love listening to it, so I want to play it. So, I just put them in there, and then I bounce all around from song to song. You get burned out on one, and then you go to something else, and so I probably have like 10 I could get through, this time. But like I said,
So you said 20. Do you have or 10 to 20 songs that you could get
In my
together,
queue.
get going pretty quick if you needed to?
No, I mean, they're in there. There's songs that I want to play, and like maybe half of them I can play parts of it. But yeah, it's
Sure.
just the time factor for me. So those are songs that I want to get
Yeah.
to, and when I slow down a bit from work and all that, then I'll get to them.
And I like how you said you get burnt out because we get tired of one song. It's like if you put on one song on an album, you get tired of it after a while. I mean, even if it's a great song, Stairway to Heaven, I'm going to get sick of it if I just have that one. So I like that you move on to something else. And it's okay to work on 2 or 3 at a time. It really is. Now, you can get too spread out with that, but I like that you kind of keep it spread out.
I'll go to a very easy
I remember what I
one.
was going to say earlier. Yeah, so I like the idea of, I always tell people, you can start playing the songs you love today, right now, because there are a lot of easy songs where you can play exactly like Paul McCartney does on Let It Be or something
Yes.
right now. I mean, and as long as you pick an easy one, you can play the original. You don't have to do a watered down version. You don't have to get the easy piano version. You can start playing. There are plenty of easy, like Piano Man is another one. If you leave out the intro and the solo, the rest of it is just chords all the way through over and over. And you can start playing, fun songs right from day one.
Motley
And I
Crue,
find
Home
that's
Sweet
a
Home.
lot more effective than getting some, sheet music and you're trying to play Row, Row, Row Your Boat or Little Red Bird.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
No,
to
you
do
could
that.
you could knock out Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home pretty quickly. Dark Side of the Moon, I think it's
Yeah.
great gig in the sky. Very easy to play.
Yes.
And it's it's just fun. So when you're working on a
Yes.
hard one, I'll just come right out and I go, you know what, I'm going to go find something nice to play. I can play it right now, and then it's fun. Yeah, you can bounce all around.
Chris, is music kind of a therapy for you? Do you feel like it just kind of helps you loosen up and relax after a
It
tough day
does.
or anything like that?
It really does. Yeah, music and dogs.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because people laugh at me because I'll do some. I'm working on music stuff because that's my job, and then to relax, I'll play music.
Yeah.
So it's the stuff I want to play. So it's in me all day long. But it is that for me too. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm going to ask you some questions now. It's going to kind of seem like I'm repeating, or you're repeating a little bit what you said, but I like to get to know you a little bit first. The videographer is my business coach that I'm working with. And that's what all this is about. Is he said, if you actually work on this, you might do really, really well. So part of it's testimonials. And he wants me to just ask these questions and move on. But I'm like, I got these guys here. I want to talk with them a little bit, get to know them. I think their story is important. So that's why we do that stuff at the beginning. But this is for the videographer. So if you don't mind just asking or answering these again.
Sure.